What up, y'all? This is Tracy.
And Matt?
From Nerd Squish. And today, we got a movie review. So we just recently saw A Quiet Place. And we loved it.
Pretty good.
It's different. It was really, really different. I like the idea that it's these monsters that like hunt only by sound. However, it makes the first half of the movie like kind of painful because it's so quiet. I don't like quiet. And then on top of that, anytime there is a noise, it's like heart attack worthy.
Yeah, the movie is so quiet. It actually makes you like buy into it, right? So you actually start being more quiet. So when things happen, you're like, you try not to make a noise anyway, right? So
that being said, don't like go to the movies to go see this with somebody that's eating like nachos because you know what you're gonna hear the whole time? Crunch!
Or a friend who sneezes a lot.
Steven. It was super good. I thought it was really cool that the daughter, the actress is actually deaf, and it was really cool if you like watch videos and read more about it. They had, you know, a lot of people on set like teaching the rest of the cast like sign language and helping out with her, which I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah, one cool part of it from the movie is that they would randomly change the perspective of who you're watching the film from. So you would go to her character who is deaf, so you would actually just, the movie would just go silent, right? You would hear nothing, and then you'd go to another character in the movie where you could hear things, and it was very interesting to see those different perspectives.
It was
made it neat.
Really, really super cool.
I would say this is a really good intro horror movie for someone who isn't really into horror movies, or I mean, honestly, I would say that's more of a thriller than it is even a horror movie.
There's
sci-fi-ish. One thing that's a little weird is that the creatures, spoiler alert, I mean, all this is going to be a spoiler, I guess, filmed video.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So.
We just made that decision.
Yeah, right now. The creatures look a lot like the things from Stranger Things.
They do. Well, I feel like everything, ever since Demigorgons came out, like everything looks like a Demigorgon. Like that's the monster of. What do you even call this? Like, I hate the fact that we're in this awkward years. Like, you know, it's like not the 80s, it's the 90s. We're like the 2010s. That's awkward.
Quarter of the 2000s.
That's awkward.
We're still in the quarter of the 2000s. The first quarter.
Too much.
First quarter 2000s.
What is this, a football game? You said quarter.
Financial quarters is 4 quarters in a year.
I don't know.
God,
anyway.
She works in an office, too. She works in an office.
Yeah, I don't know. The monsters, I mean, my big complaint with these movies is that I hate CGI. I really do. I don't mind it, you know, if it's practical and CGI and it makes a little marriage and everything looks good. But, like, the creatures are, I mean, obviously just way CGI to the point where it's, for me, at times painful to look at. But, like, every movie does that. Like, there's very few movies that don't do like over the top CGI.
What are the things that you liked about the movie? Because this has been pretty jumbled so far. We don't do this. Sorry, guys. I mean,
it's the first time, guys. Okay, it's gonna get better. Even though I really enjoyed it, I have a lot of like really weird little complaints. Since this is a spoiler video, warning if you didn't read the title of this, but the fact that this woman is pregnant during all of this, you were like some of the last people, presumably, I mean, you don't really know, you don't really see many other people, but you're some of the last people on the maybe planet, country, I don't know, you don't really know how widespread it is, but
were they the last people? Because there was a part that I wasn't, and maybe I just missed it, he would light torch on the top of his sort of like camp area, and you would see
that was probably that old guy.
Yeah, I guess so. There's multiple, but yeah, but there was
okay,
like multiple.
There's people, but there's not.
They're very spread
many.
out, and they're not.
Okay, and you know that people are just like dying left and right from these creatures. Why are you trying to have a kid? Like, why? What do you think?
They probably didn't try. You know, they were just they had nothing to do.
But they've made 3 of them before. They know how it gets done.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like the whole labor scene should have been longer and possibly more intense, more, I don't want to say gruesome, because I don't know if I want to say it that gruesome.
It was pretty damn intense already. The only thing that could have made it more intense, of course, is a spoiler, is if she would have died giving birth, which I actually thought would have been a pretty good point of the movie, because there is this whole sequence where the creature is basically in the house, and she's going into labor, so she's trying to be quiet while she's going into labor, so she doesn't die and kill her unborn child as well, which is crazy. That is a crazy concept, and I love the way it worked out. But it got to the point where she actually ends up giving labor, either in the bathtub or the shower. They never really show it. But I think what would have made that more, realistic, really, is if she would have passed away during the birth, which, was a weird thing to do anyway. I mean, I don't want to be the downer, like, I wanted to see that bitch die. That's not what it is. It's just, like, afterwards, even after, she was very weak. She rested for, like, a few hours, and then she gets up later on, and she's, like, all deflated. She's shooting a shotgun, killing monsters and shit. Like, I don't think she would be that recovered that fast. I mean, maybe she's just a really bad bitch, but...
Adrenaline can only take you so far.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just... Yeah, it was just really... I feel like that whole part, like, before was really intense. How she's trying to escape from the monster, have this kid quietly, whatever. But I feel like all of a sudden, you go out to the field, you show John Krasinski's character and the son, and all of a sudden you go back in the house and she's like, what up? I had this baby. It's like, that was really easy. So it makes you wonder if... Because they show parts before where she's, like, taking her, like, blood pressure or something, listening to heartbeats, and the way she does everything gives you the impression that maybe she was a nurse or a doctor.
It was done very tastefully, because you get to see the fact that they are foraging for, like, medicine, so she could have been on medicine. You get the fact that she is paying attention and doing all these regular things and, like, not going to a doctor, but, like, checking her blood pressure and all that stuff. And they allude to it very well. It's just, I still think it's relatively unrealistic to think that she gave birth and then, like, maybe 2 hours later in the timeline, if that, like, she's like, standing up, kicking monster ass. Like, I mean, and don't get me wrong, it was very an interesting thing to see, because she was grimacing in pain most of the time, and she was like, it was like, wow, this lady is awesome. But yeah, it was cool. I mean, I don't, John Krasinski, hands down, acting, writing, directing, he did a good job on all of it. It was a good movie for sure,
and it was really, really cool to see, like, a real life husband and wife play husband and wife, especially in this scenario. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was really my only complaint, was the pregnancy thing. I didn't want to see the whole, like, teenage angst thing with the deaf girl. That got to be a little pushy at times, but I didn't really care about it too much.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, just to explain a little bit, you always see, like, the inner turmoil of the young teen and her dad who doesn't love her because, spoiler alert, she is indirectly the reason why her younger brother gets killed in the beginning of the movie. So, yeah, they built on that well. But, I mean, it's still good. It causes, layers to the movie. Just, overplayed a little bit.
It was cool, though. I mean, I think overall, really, really good movie. A really good standalone. Like, they left it kind of open to where they could go on, but I really hope they don't. I know everything, if it makes enough money, they keep going, but I think it's a really good little standalone movie if they just kept it the way it is.
Yeah, just leave it. The ending is perfect. They left it at a point where it keeps you guessing, like, oh shit, what's about to happen. I enjoyed the ending a lot. A lot of people actually don't like the ending from what I've seen online, but whatever.
I thought it was cool. So we would definitely recommend seeing this movie. It's really cool, and like I said, they're advertising it as a horror movie, but it could just, it's not in-your-face horror. It's definitely a scary situation, but it's just like a good monster movie, thriller, whatever. Really, really good. I'd say, go check it out in theaters. I think it's definitely one to spend the extra money on. It's just different.
There's two things that you can do with this movie. You can either wait to watch it at home when it goes on the video on demand because you're afraid of being in the theaters and being with a bunch of loud people, right? That are crunching stuff.
That's true.
Or you can just hope that you get a good crowd and then go see it, so you can have that thing that we talked about earlier, where, like, you actually end up playing into it, where you're like, oh, you don't even want to make noise, and you're looking at the guy next to you like, oh, you crunched the bag, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And I think I've heard other people say the exact same thing, is that they think that it just buys into this whole thing. And I think it's really clever how that's done. So
I like it.
So yeah, sorry if this sucked. We don't do this very often. This is going to be our first review. We're going to try to do this more often. Also, we're not critics, but we are people who love movies. We watch tons of movies, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys will go see A Quiet Place. Maybe you won't. Maybe like screw those guys. Whatever.
You'll be like, those nerd Squish people don't even know what they're talking about.
We don't, but we like to make videos.
Yes.
All right.
Have a nerdy day, guys.